Good morning, Irene.
Good morning, Ed.
You're living the dream, so why wouldn't you be? Is there any final thoughts you have?
Something to look forward to is
What's your goal? Good morning, Ed Murphy of Green Tech HQ in Enniscorthy, County Wexford. This is an innovation hub set up to bring together entrepreneurs, business people, corporates, investors and communities to look at and try and come up with solutions to the effects of climate change and greenhouse gas emissions. This morning I'm here with Dr Irene Cadogan of Sustainable Enniscorthy, and I just want to ask her a few questions about what's happening in Enniscorthy from a sustainability point of view. Good morning, Irene.
Good morning, Ed.
And look, tell me, why did you set up and how did Sustainable Enniscorthy come about and why?
Yeah, so in about 2019, I organised a conference around sustainable development goals in Enniscorthy, which is where I met Billy Murphy, who was our co-founder. And really we were looking at sustainability and how it affects local groups. I suppose what really came about from that conference was how much really good work was happening in Enniscorthy and what positive stories there were out there. And we felt, well, that's not necessarily the impression that you get, from around the town. So we thought, well, we should really set up a group that focuses on bringing out those positive stories and also align that, I suppose, with sustainability and with environmental issues in the town. So I suppose we wanted to really focus on the positive stories and how we could bring community groups together to work better together as well, with that kind of sustainability link in them all.
And what type of groups did you try and talk to, or was there groups or just different people in Enniscorthy that you tried to pull together?
I think we had a wide range of people at that conference. So we had schools, we had community groups, residents associations, and I think I was really blown away being from the town. I hadn't heard all these stories before. I hadn't heard about all the really good work that was happening, and I just felt, oh my God, this is amazing. We really should be showcasing all this work. People are working very hard in certain areas, and what they're achieving is brilliant, and that really needs to be showcased.
And tell me, so when you came together then with people and got a group going or whatever, have you set kind of mission, vision? Have you set goals for the next 5 years?
Yeah, so it was just me and Billy to start off with, but now we've got a really good team. We've got a group of 7 on our committee, really experienced in sustainability and community development. So out of that, we kind of came up with our statement of what we want to do, and really it's around bringing community groups together, bringing the community together around the idea of sustainability. And our vision is really about, I suppose, aligned with Enjoy Enniscorthy and, some of the other groups around showing what a wonderful place Enniscorthy is to live, to work, to visit, but making sure that sustainability is a key part of that because it's so important for our future. So I suppose we work with a lot of different stakeholders in the town, a lot of different groups. And the key thing is we don't want to reinvent the wheel, that we know there's really good work happening out there. So we're not trying to take over anything anyone else is doing. What we want to do is fill the gaps where there's additional support needed. That's where we're going to look at. So we have 2 key pillars. One is sustainability, and that really is focusing around energy, biodiversity and circular economy. And then the second one is around health and well-being, because these are 2 very important issues. And that's around air quality, water quality, and then active travel as well. Which
kind of fits into what the government are trying to do and what European government, EU are trying to do in terms of teach people what they call ESG, environmental, social governance, that to make sure that companies and communities are looking at their environment and they're looking at the social needs of the people, and that there's governance around that. So I know there's a lot of regulation rules coming in from the EU over the next couple of years for companies have to abide by a lot of ESG regulation. So that's interesting. In terms of outward goals you have, what were an example of some of the current projects, big, small, or indifferent, whether they're small, whether they're only happening now or might be happening in a year's time or 5 years' time? What are the type of projects that you're working on, just for example?
Yeah, so I suppose we've two big projects that we're working on at the moment. The first is we're a sustainable energy community. So we established that last year, and we're working with the contractor now to do an energy master plan for the town.
Oh, wow.
So that's a really good piece of work that's going to be done. It'll set kind of the baseline energy, how much energy we're using as a town. But more importantly, it will give us options of how to improve energy efficiency, and not just for businesses and community buildings, but most importantly for homeowners. It's a very topical issue at the moment.
Yeah.
And so I suppose the most important bit is about having it achievable. Like, there's a lot of talk about big retrofit projects and things. That what we're trying to focus on with our master plan is projects that are achievable, like community groups working together to do, smaller retrofit projects or combined retrofit projects, so that they're achievable from a financial and also a comfort perspective, that they're not, having to renovate the entire house in one go.
Yeah.
That they're able to make small changes, which will make a big impact for them.
Yeah.
So that master plan should be ready in, I'd say, July or August. So we hope to have a big launch later in the year.
Great.
And maybe another expo.
So who are you doing that in conjunction? When you think of master plans, we think of county councils and we think of large consultants, whether it could be Department of Environment or whatever. So what gave you the right to do a master plan, and why should people look at what you come up with as being the real master plan? So what?
Yeah, it's done through the Sustainable Energy Authority of Ireland, so the SEAI. So it's a programme that they run in lots of different communities.
Yeah.
And then our contractor, KRA, is paid for by the SEAI, and the County Council also are co-funding with us.
Yeah.
So it's a tried and tested, methodology about how they do this. But then we also have the scope ourselves, I suppose, to make sure that it's suitable for our community. That's not just the same plan everywhere, because obviously every community is different, and what will work in Enniscorthy may not work in other places, and vice versa.
Yeah. Great, well done. That's a great. And apart from the master plan, what other major project?
Yeah, so the other large project that we're doing is with Task.
Yeah.
And they're funded by AIB to look at community projects.
Yeah.
That will help both solutions to climate change, but also community development, providing local jobs. So they're working through that project at the moment.
Yeah.
There's some more information available on our website or on Task's website.
Yeah.
And they're running a survey. But really, again, that's very community driven. What does Enniscorthy need? What kind of social enterprise options, job options are out there, but that serve both the community and both climate change as well?
Yeah, I'm with you. Okay. And it seems very much that the master plan and it needs to work in tandem, and it's effectively two sides of the one coin, and for Enniscorthy. Great
yeah, they're
work.
very heavily linked.
Yeah,
and then I suppose we have lots of other little projects that we've been working on.
Is there any weird and wonderful little ones that you want to tell us?
Not weird or wonderful. We've had our 2 energy expos, I suppose, which were great because
What was that? What were
we
they
brought
about?
together lots of different companies, local companies. So like from stove fitters, I suppose, window companies, solar panels. So really to help educate people about what the options are, smaller options that they can take in terms of improving the energy efficiency of their homes, and most importantly reducing their bills, which is very important at the moment.
Yeah, I'm with you. If there's people listening to you that want to get involved, are you looking for more people, more involvement? And
we're always happy to take more.
Yeah, and what would they do? Would they? Obviously, you have a website and social media.
So we have our website, sustainableenniscorthy.com. We also have a Facebook page and an Instagram page.
All right.
And then they can just email us at sustainableenniscorthy@gmail.com.
Great.
And members can get involved in projects we're already running, or if there's something that they really want to do, some aspect of sustainability that they're really interested in, they can come on board, and then we can support that through either trying to secure funding, extra bodies, whatever they might need. So there's lots of opportunities, I suppose.
You seem really enthusiastic about it, and it sounds like a lot happening, and you're doing this voluntarily.
Yeah.
And part-time job, so you have a full-time job as well?
I do.
You do, wow. And tell me, but why is this important to you?
I suppose I've a real pride in Enniscorthy.
Yeah.
I think the town is a wonderful place and should be getting that recognition.
Yeah.
And also there is a lot of good work going on, and I suppose what we want to do is really bring that together and facilitate it and bring one voice so that everyone is represented, not necessarily by, you know, government structures or whatever structures, that it's a community structure. That's really important, I suppose, to bring a sense of coherency, and that we're all singing from the one hymn sheet and getting what we need for the community, not what other people think that we need. And I suppose that's one of the other things we're starting to put together a social enterprise. So Sustainable Enniscorthy, Enniscorthy Tidy Towns and the Enniscorthy community allotments are going to come together to form a social enterprise. And that really will be about securing better funding for better projects that we can deliver in the community, but also that we take the inspiration or the requests from the community about what kind of projects that they want run.
And some people, I suppose, around Ireland would say, Irene, why bother? I mean, is this not the job of government? Is this not the job of local government, you know, to do this? Why are you doing this? Let's call it from the ground up, from the streets.
I suppose everyone has their part to play. Local government and the government have roles to play, but they're never really looking at the community side. They're never, I suppose, a lot of projects and plans are not specifically community focused. And I think we felt it was really important that the community be represented and that we can focus on things that we feel are important, that maybe local government or the government don't necessarily feel are as important, or they're not a priority, that we could prioritise things that we feel that, you know, would benefit the town, I suppose, quickly as well. Like, a lot of things have been promised along the way. I think people have become a bit jaded by all the things that, you know, Enniscorthy has been promised. And I suppose we just want to start delivering on some things as quickly as we possibly can. And we have, sometimes I think with community and voluntary groups, you have that goodwill, you have that pride behind it, and sometimes you can achieve things a lot quicker and for a lot less maybe resources than if you were to try and do it through a very, you know, difficult bureaucratic channel.
Yeah.
Sometimes people on the ground just get stuff done quicker.
Yeah, okay. Well, Irene, thank you very much, and thanks for coming in this
No
morning
problem.
and having a chat to us. It's very, very interesting, and I look forward to talking about again in the not so far distant future, where we can look at any updates and upgrades and whatever that's happened. Thank you.
That'd be brilliant. Thanks, Ed.
Cheers. Bye bye.